Today we're gonna take a look at the walker I use, um, and see if we can take this fairly generic thing and make it a little bit better than the factory stock. The only thing that was originally different on it now is it has four wheels instead of two, and then two sleds in the rear. And the reason we got rid of the sleds in the rear is that Winston Sidewalks just basically trashes everything. And so, the problem is we need to find something that's going to give better suspension, and make the bumps less noticeable. And I'm thinking about putting bigger wheels on this. So let me take one of the wheels off so we can actually look at this together. Actually, pull this side here. You can see before we do that. You can see when it folds up. It folds up like that, so that the wheels kind of like when it's closed, it kind of acts like an inline skate or rollerblade, so that they can actually roll in. But just like rollerblades, it has like no stability. It just rolls like that. Here we have the walker in the open position, and you can see now how the outer wheels in the rear, which were given me by a friend, so they're actually from another walker, they face outward. And the reason they face outward and the other ones face inward is because when you fold this, as I put here, one side here, as you can see in here, what happens, then you get ready to close it up halfway, that this wheel is smacking against this wheel here. Now, this is a wheel that's damaged and it's going to be repaired, but I'm thinking about maybe swing these wheels outward. What they can do, it'll be easy enough to test it too. It'll give a little more dimensional stability. So you can see how Winston Sidewalks is just totally trashing the living bejesus out of these wheels. Okay, I took one of the wheels off. This is the one that's the rim is totally broken off, and so we're gonna take this apart, and you can already see how Winston Sidewalk is totally trashed this one wheel, and it's made out of layers of rubber that is just gunblade bad. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make sure to find the right wrench for this. Yeah, right. Alright, so you have three parts to the wheel. There's more than three. You got the shaft, this is right here, the axle, the nut, the two bushings is here. And I didn't bring up my other thing, so I'm gonna have to just use my So let's measure this real quickly here. This looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. Maybe about 5/16, maybe. Say 1/4 of an inch. It sounds about right. All right, so it's about 5/16. Length. From it's about 1.5 inches. I'm gonna say 1.25 inches if you want to be able to get a nut on. So about 1 inch size wheel would be fine for diameter. Okay, now I'm getting this next measurement. It says well, 4.5, almost 5 inches. So, unfortunately, this wheel is really just coming apart. I need to figure out a solution to that because this thing is, so it's about 5/16 of an inch for the hub. You can see it here. I'm gonna, because you can read the meter, American measurements better than me. It's about 5/16 of an inch. If you're gonna go for metric instead, I'm gonna say about maybe 8 millimeters. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 8 millimeter. Because you can see right there, if I blend it up carefully, you can see it. Yeah, I would say about 7, 8 millimeters. It looks like it's 8. Okay, so the problem is I'm thinking about using something like lawnmower tires that have a bit of grip to it. And you can see how Winston Sidewalks just totally tears these up. There's no suspension. So when this thing hits a bump on Winston's roads, you can see it ripped part of the outer layer of the tire off and just cut it in half from rocks. So I'm thinking this is if we could replace it with a more durable outdoor tire. Please remember, these walkers are usually not used in that kind of setting. These are usually used inside a home, or if outside, they're used for like just putting this together here. They're usually used for like people, if you live in rest homes, maybe use a pair of transit van to get around, or a car. I don't have a car, I have to walk. So everything I do is on foot. And then you tighten up these rings here to provide a type of resistance. It's got a cap nut. Which really is nice for these things. I'm trying to tighten the nut with my hand, one hand. Good enough. At least I won't listen. I'll hide it up in a little bit. So that's the problem that we have right now with this. Is we need better wheels, and this thing really needs suspension because I'm thinking, how would we do suspension? If we could add struts to this so that when you over a rock or something like that, but just like in a car, it'll provide kind of suspension so you don't feel it as much up here. It'll just, the way when you roll over a rough surface like this, even this old wheel here, your wheel is going to adjust. And I'm thinking if I go for bigger, I'm thinking about going for 7-inch or maybe even 12-inch wheels, thinking that there'll be more or less surface area, and the wheel would be able to just roll over. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing here. Okay. But I don't know if that's gonna work because First of all, Winston's surfaces are a lot rougher than this, running over a part of its tire than this. So, but if I had a bigger wheel, I'm thinking is that more of the wheel would, but we don't even have any kind of swivel or steering. So these things are fixed in place. So when you're walking around on these wheels, you can't easily turn because that depends on the pivot point here to do all the turning. But all the other wheels are fixed in place too, so they can't. So that's the reason why I don't think that's going to work either. The other thing I want to do to pimp my ride is I want to add some additional carrying capacity to this too. I want to add some carts or baskets to this, and maybe if I could add calipers and bicycle brakes on it, so I could actually have brakes that'll allow me to quickly start and stop when going down hills. See, right now I have to set the retarders on these wheels pretty snug, but they're pretty much one set. You don't really need to change it, which provides a lot of isometric resistance, which is fine. But the thing is that sometimes I don't want that resistance. Okay, so this is the reason why I'm really kind of finding out that this walker is made by a company called Drive, and it's an entry level walker. I know some new ones that they have out there in the market that are different, that are like have seats in them, so you can sit down if you need to, or you can put your bags on the seat. And then it has four wheels like this, and they fold up. But the problem with them is the way I use this walker is I use them almost like a push cart, push things. So it only provides me with like something to grab onto if I feel like I'm gonna fall, and it can support my weight fine. That's not a problem. But it's just I gotta find a better way of doing this. So let me go ahead and tighten these screws up, put them back together, and then get ready to edit the video down. But it definitely gives you an idea as far as the shaft. This is a 1 inch aluminum extruded tubing, so it should be possible to put this together some way or another. We'll have to see what happens, because I definitely want to pimp my walker a bit, make it a little more advantageous for me. It's something I can carry a lot of stuff. I tried changing the wheel positions. That didn't help. In fact, it made it worse. So I set the wheels back to where they were, because that makes it easier for me to carry things. Like, if I do put, bigger wheels on, 6-inch, 7-inch wheels, you're going to need the bigger room to be able to swing in and to get things in and out of the way, the walker. And since I wear dresses, I tend to need to make sure that my hem of my dress isn't going to get caught underneath the wheels. That's something I need to be careful of too. But for now, everybody, thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you later.